Hi, Cancer lovelies. Welcome to October 2018. Here we are in what a powerful month. It starts off, with a bang. This Venus retrograde is just so deep, so powerful. It's a Venus retrograde in Scorpio all of October. Then it's a Venus retrograde into Libra in November until the 16th, and then it goes direct. And, for you, as you know, Scorpio is your sister sign. And for those especially Cancer rising, Scorpio's fifth house, your heart, your creativity, where you put that heart, where you put those beautiful Cancer hearts, moon children hearts. And, there's a potential for some really deep healing with your creative and giving and loving process in that retrograde. In fact, I'm going to start shuffling my cards. There is a calling here for you. The note that I had is flow along with this watery way. Now, you are going to have an easier time with this than a lot of signs because you already have that water way, you already have that intuitive way, you already have that flow in your very bones. So for you, this is going to feel a little bit more natural, a little bit more in flow. King of Cups, Four of Wands. Wow. Okay, great news for Cancer. I love this. Very powerful, very beautiful. I'm sure you'll be happy to see this. Flowing along with the watery way. Now, I also get the sense there's a lot of deep heart healing potential for the Cancer Moon Child family because with that fifth house activation of Venus, the goddess of love and of what we love and value and of money, our possessions, value, just value in general. Being in that fifth house, it's a time where you can really deeply integrate. Now, I'm already getting, with these cards here already, and just in general with you, that deep connection is going to be extremely important this month. Ace of Cups. Oh my gosh. Wow, Cancer, your energy is just beautiful. Some people with Venus retrograde, it's about feeling a little more isolated or feeling a little bit more shut out or feeling a little bit more like they have to learn how to be alone. But what that I'm getting for you, Page of Swords, communication, is that you are going to be using this Venus retrograde to connect more deeply with those close to you. And there's a lot of deep connection, a lot of deep communication, a lot of deep checking in with the process this month than maybe anybody else. There's this sense of you and your deepest connections and the people you connect with this month. Seven of Swords. There's going to be work done there. Now, that's the thing, that Seven of Swords, that Page of Swords, that kind of swords energy. There's where the wounds and the stabbing can come in. Not stabbing. There's not going to be stabbing, but all our relationships need check-in time. All of our relationships, including the ones with ourselves, but also with those we love and that are in our internal zone, need check-in times. We need to check in with how each of us in our relationships, where we are in our own process, how that's fitting in with the other person, where maybe we've been neglecting something, where maybe we have hurt somebody very subtly, very, very subtly and quietly in a way we didn't even realize. And we have to integrate that so we can move forward. Devil energy, there's your opposite sign of Capricorn coming in. Relational energy, where we felt trapped, where we felt less than, where we felt not seen, where we felt like we were just plugging away at the same old pattern. All that stuff's coming up, but I think what's really cool is that, you're not having to do this in isolation. You're not having to do this by sitting and meditating and walking out in the woods and hoping that the answers come. It's like, this is done in a very healing, loving space, is what I'm getting. And it's done in a way that helps illuminate how to have healthy relationships moving forward and how to have healthy creative work moving forward. We are in Libra season, justice. You're getting very fitting cards today, Cancer. They're right on the money. Two cards came out. And then Six of Pentacles and Ten of Pentacles. Very nice. You have a lot of great energy here. I'm moving my camera around. Like I said, the energy this month is really about integration. It's really about healing. It's really about the thing with Venus retrograde is that this is an energy that is here to serve us. so that we can become our next version, so that we can step into our next energetic cycle. And there's so much about 2018 that has been about it's time for there to be a new phase, right? So the Venus retrograde just adds on top of the fact that Saturn moved signs at the end of last year, that Uranus moved signs, that we've had so many retrogrades. This last thing, and then Jupiter is about to move into Sagittarius in November. So this last retrograde is kind of an important moment. It's not the last retrograde of 2018, but this is a poignant one. Is here to just give us all the information we need so that we can move forward and not just do the same thing over and over again. So let's talk about these cards, because for you, like I said, it's very relational. It's very much about how you share of your heart. I mean, but look at this beautiful energy the first half of the month. I mean, I can't argue with this at all. King of Cups, Four of Wands, Ace of Cups, Page of Swords. This is just beautiful. Now, here's the thing, you know, this is jubilation, this is connection, this is love, this is partnership, this is family, this is excitement, this is success, and this doesn't just have to be love. So for those of you who are just, that's not why you're here, that's not why we're having this discussion, that how does this energy influence us in our whole lives? This is also about how you creatively explore. This is also about how you utilize your gifts and talents in the world and making connections with those and having people around you that have a like mind and opening new doors when it comes to that. But this is about what you love and value the most. This is about who and what you love and value the most. And the thing that I love about this energy is that this is very close to you. This is here, and it wants to be here, and it wants to show up with you. And you will know it because this is not subtle. This is very like pointed, directed. I love you. I want to be a part of your life. I want to make this happen. Let's do it. It's very jubilant. It's very happy. It's very giving. It's very loving. It's very much what you Cancers need. So you could be in a location that you feel is homey. You can be in partnerships that feel safe for you to explore. You can be starting new creative ventures that feel like you're coming home. There's a real homecoming here, a real jubilation, a real sense that you have what you need to fully express yourself. And that is a beautiful thing, and that's everything I could ask for Cancer. Here's what's so interesting. This sets the, I just got goosebumps. This is what's interesting. This sets a beautiful stage for you to just check in with old fear and worry and pain patterns, and to have the chance to just look at them from a safe space of love and connection. And that is really where you want to do that work from, because these next three cards to me speak to that a little bit. So here's the Venus retrograde working on your fifth house. Page of Swords, Seven of Swords, Devil. These represent different aspects of things. So Page of Swords is beautiful. This is very communicative energy. It wants to cut into the heart of the matter, and it's a little bit swift. So you may be finding that people just want to communicate with you, want to share their ideas, share their pain, share their worries, share their fears. Don't let that catch you off guard too much. If you're noticing that that's around, first of all, everybody's dealing with this retrograde, and it's really deep, and it's affecting everybody differently. So everybody's going to be feeling kind of effusive or retracting and hiding in. There's kind of these extremes going on there depending on how the retrograde is affecting the energy. But there's a communicative energy here. Now, this can also be you needing to communicate something, needing to share something about what's under the surface. The thing is that we all have this stuff going on under the surface. Our fears, our old thought patterns, how we talk to ourselves, where we feel challenged, where we feel blocked off, where we have really fragile, vulnerable hopes and dreams that we're really worried about sharing with the external world. And they can kind of become, and we do push them down. We don't want to show them to the external world. We don't want to show them to people. And Cancer, you guys are really good at having that dualism where you can function and focus and get through and make things happen, and then underneath be having this entire other dialogue that people don't even realize is happening. That is a problem sometimes, because if your partner doesn't know, if your friends don't know, if the people you're working with don't know that you're struggling, how are they going to treat you in a way that you need, right? But here's the thing. These energies are about feeling trapped or feeling that, you're not enough, and feeling that you can't trust. There's a lot of trust and entrapment issues going on here. So if you're in like long-term relationships or in deeper relationships or partnerships with people where you are needing to check on those partnerships, you may be finding that you have very revelatory conversations with people about what's working for you and what's not, where you're feeling there's a lack of communication or understanding and where there is. And this can be a really beautiful thing. While initially it can be scary and a little alarming, like, oh my gosh, what are we talking about? These are the kinds of conversations when you can really admit that these things are happening, where partnerships improve. Partnerships become so much better, because I tell you what, this stuff right here is, a lot of times it's the mirages we put over things. It's the lenses we put over things. It's not necessarily how they really are. They can become this way in reality if we feed into it long enough in isolation in our own minds. But you're being called to connect and to communicate and to clear the air this month. And that is giving you all the gifts, because look at these last three cards. Gifts, gifts, gifts. Justice is the balance card, right? So you look at the devil and then you look at justice, and you kind of see the difference here. Devil energy isn't evil in itself. It can be obsessive. It can feel trapping. It can feel heavy. It can feel really grounded. It can feel like the less healthy version of love, right? It's underground. It's a little bit more intense, but justice is about balance. It's about communication. It's about flow. It's about give and receive. It's about finding a healthy place where you can understand another person's perspective and they can understand yours, and there isn't any need for there to be heaviness, right? So there's some kind of clarifying going on here. I think you guys are going to be getting the information you need, and you are going to be sharing the information you need, and that is giving you the space to heal anything that is feeling like it's been picking at you for a little while. And in doing that, you find even more balance and grace and happiness. Now, here's the thing I always say about the Ten of Pentacles in general. This is long-term building, right? So we don't just wake up one morning and the Ten of Pentacles is there. And I know you guys already know this. You're hard workers, so you get this. This is the kind of thing you build over time. This is the kind of thing that life is made of this. This is the end result of a life lived full of showing up. And the only way you get to the Ten of Pentacles and feel the Ten of Pentacles is to be willing to have vulnerable conversations and to open yourself up and to be seen fully by another person. And I think you may find that you have to dive into some scary territory this month in order to come out feeling as wealthy as I see you at the end. So I kind of see this as a bit of a ride, and not a big dramatic ride, but a deep emotional ride that is having you look at many aspects of yourself and your relationships. But in the end, you find the balance and the harmony and the shared path. Which is beautiful and very clear and very crisp. I mean, everything here. The only two cards that have any embattled energy whatsoever are these deeper ones here. Everything else is like, you have reason to celebrate. You have reason to connect. You have reason to feel safe enough to explore those shadow sides of yourself. How important is that? Truly, I think we have a society where positive thinking is fantastic, right? But isn't it so beautiful when you have connections and associations and people you're around that you can just be your fully vulnerable self with them, and that gives you the space to be the fully dynamic person you are. King of Wands. Wow. I was pulling one final card for my Cosmic Tarot to top off this conversation today. The King of Wands showed up. Now that's really interesting. This is fire energy. Kind of associate this with like Leo or Sagittarius. And we had King of Cups at the beginning of your reading. So we have some kings here. Now, healthy masculine energy, we all have it inside of ourselves, and we all need it in this culture. Does hold space for healing and for self-discovery and knowledge. And I think that's what we are calling here, for a healthy dialogue and exchange. Now, maybe you have some Leo, Sagittarius, or even Aries energy around you as well. That is a part of this puzzle. I mean, of course, you have the King of Cups energy as well, so that can be you, and it can be people that you're around. Now, this is a challenger, right, to your water energy. This is somebody who does things a little bit differently than you and sees things a little bit differently than you and works through problem solving even differently than you. So if you have partnerships or people you are working with around you who kind of work through the world in a different way, this could also be a month where you find that you can find common ground together and that you can work together and that you can actually go far beyond where you thought you could with somebody. So if you feel like there's irreparable differences that you just can't quite get right, you might be surprised by what this Venus retrograde in this October does for you on that front. I also want to mention before I close out today that you do have a new moon in Libra in your 4th house of your home and family, your internal space. Once again, we're getting set up for you to kind of go in there. And then we have a full moon in Taurus on the 24th, and that's going to be highlighting your 11th house of, your social network and who you have around. So you can kind of see how this is highlighting your most internal home space and then your big collective spaces, and how the moon is working to kind of help you tune into both layers of your life, both home, internal, and external, and collective. So you're really the connectors this month. I like that for you. I feel like that's so important for my Cancers, and I'm excited for you to see where this beautiful journey is going to take you. I will leave my website and my info below in the description box. So if you want to connect with me, I would love to work with you. SARAHTAROT.com, you can go check that out. You can also connect with me on Instagram at @TheSarahTarot. I do private readings. I just want to book a little bit ahead so that we can get that scheduled in a good spot for both of us. And of course, I'm wearing PinkLune. I'm wearing some amazing tourmaline right now. I'll leave her info in the description box as well if you're interested in handmade jewelry by one woman only. And she gives you 15% off. I will see you guys in November. I love you so much.